Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update on my experience with the Sony CyberShot DSC HX90V. This is a point-and-shoot mega-zoom pocketable camera from Sony, 430 US retail, Wi-Fi and NFC on board. We've also got GPS, you can see that right there, and that is designated by the V in its HX90V title. So for those of you curious, whenever you're looking at a CyberShot camera and V is in the model designation, that indicates it does have GPS on board. And this is really a camera designed for just about everyone. And its price really trying to appeal to every possible consumer. You know, it doesn't sport a 1-inch sensor like the much more expensive RX100 line, but it does have a very broad range of features. A great 30 times Carl Zeiss lens built into an incredibly small body. I mean, look at the size of this. For those that always argue that the RX100 is not pocketable, this is beyond pocketable. Mostly plastic build on the body, but I don't really see any issues with build quality, at least so far. Quick to focus. You also have the benefit beyond that fully 180-degree rotating display to use an OLED viewfinder, something that Sony integrated for the first time into the RX100 Mark III, and I think it was a great addition for those of you that require reading glasses or just want a frame with a traditional EVF experience rather than using an LCD. You have that opportunity now, so built-in value, in my opinion, in just about every way. And you can see that automatically turns the camera on. We've got our NFC contact point here, great 1080p video capture, besides also having very solid still imaging performance. That 18.2 megapixel sensor that's on board, again, not a 1-inch sensor. It is considerably smaller, but still going to blow away anything that your cell phone, smartphone, I should say, is going to be able to do. And that's exactly why this camera still exists. It's pretty much where I feel Sony draws the line, at least I draw the line in reviewing point-and-shoot cameras for all of you, and that's because it does accomplish a feat, which is giving you essentially a great camera for just about any entry-level user, and then a great B or C camera for that user that's more advanced but wants something perfect for concerts. Because think about this, you can fit it in your bag very easily, your pocket, very small form factor, battery life is solid, and then you have that 30 times lens to get those shots that you traditionally could never get with a camera in this form. Autofocus is fast. We've got a multi-port here for charging, as well as optional accessories like a trigger, the video capture button right here on the back. Essentially all of the buttons that traditionally you'd expect to see on a CyberShot. Nothing too crazy because this is not about manual control. Center mounted flash right here, which can be manipulated slightly to bounce, but not a whole lot. The EVF I just showed you before, the zoom right here and shutter button, very easy to power up this camera and just immediately start shooting. And that's what you just saw right there is me taking the camera through the entire range, which reaches to, I believe, 720 mil. So that's a 35 millimeter equivalency, but that's still insane. And the fact that they've squeezed it all into such a small body, yes, it's not the fastest camera. We're not working with a constant f2.8 like you would with something like the RX10 Mark II, but this camera just tends to nail it, and that's what I really, really like about it. Electronic shutter makes it even better, so it can give you silent shooting, and really there's nothing that you can't do with this camera as long as you understand the essential limitations of what the sensor and lens pairing is capable of. You know, again, this is not going to give you RX100 type results, but it is going to give you, in my opinion, the best camera you could possibly have in your pocket at something like a concert, or if you're on a hike, something of that nature, because the 1080p video capture on this is stunning. If you haven't taken a look at my samples, I recommend that you do. Very impressive, and that's just because, again, the stabilization, Zeiss glass, and the sensor all essentially play very well together. And the fact that the camera got smaller, and I'm pretty sure the price is more affordable, having that articulating screen that we didn't have on previous generations, the OLED viewfinder, I mean, what is there not to like? Essentially, an upgrade in every way. That's why I say I'm not upset that we missed out on the HX60V because it was really a very small step from the HX50V. This camera, on the other hand, looks like a completely different breed, borrowing from much of the RX100 line, the improvements there, and bringing them into a less expensive CyberShot world that's much more consumer friendly. And with that 30 times zoom, GPS really gives a traveler a great companion, which is why I say this and the RX100 are great to take along if you don't want bulk but want great flexibility and still and video quality in two different forms that can go just about anywhere. So that pretty much rounds out my update on the HX90V. I'm keeping it. It wasn't something I initially thought I would, but the fact remains that there's nothing else like it right now that I could use to replace it. And that's why it is so impressive and really indispensable for me personally, because I know there's nothing else I could grab and go that would give me a 30 times zoom, good battery life, solid video quality, solid still quality, and still be able to fit in the palm of my hand easily in any pocket, pant, or jacket. So the HX90V seems to be a winner, no surprise. Of course, I will be doing a full review, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.